Will our students please be seated? Good morning. My name is Richard Simpson, and I'm the Vice President of Education. And I'm delighted to welcome each of you as we celebrate the 2023 commencement exercises for the graduates of our Culinary Arts program. I'd like to begin by inviting Rick Smilo, the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Culinary Education, to address us. Chairman Smilo.
Good morning, everybody, and it's exciting to see the crowd out here. We pulled some strings to make sure there would be incredible weather this morning, and it worked. It worked. So it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. I have been the leader and CEO of ICE for 28 years. Back in when I started when I was 15. Back in 1995, when we were in a walk-up building on East 92nd Street, I couldn't predict the school would grow to be the prominent institution it is today. I didn't know we would have a restaurant management and plant-based program, a school location in Lower Manhattan, a campus in Los Angeles, and most recently, a fully online program. But most importantly, I didn't know how satisfying it would make me feel to know that our team's investment of time, sweat, and resources would help now thousands of people just like you, to launch their careers. So to be addressing you today is personally very rewarding. To begin with, there are some thank yous I'd like to extend. First, the parents and loved ones. And let's hear a round of applause for the parents and loved ones. You encouraged our students. You may have helped pay for their education. You may have tasted their homework, and hopefully it was tastier as their lessons progressed. Second, I'd like to thank the staff at ICE that works hard and with purpose and dedication. It's a broad group. First that come to mind are the instructors, but there are also dozens and dozens of people in roles like registrar, job placement, financial aid, student affairs, admissions, food purchasing, facilities maintenance, and more that make it possible for our diploma programs to run. It's one thing to run a school, but a culinary school is a very messy school to run. It takes a lot of work to make it all happen. And then there's the people who plan this commencement ceremony. A special call out to Lisa, Kristen, Diana, Elizabeth, Martha, Amanda, Janessa, Maribel, Elliot, Robin, Jason, Anna, Abby, Anthony, Kathy, Corey, and Jaleesa. And in advance, I'd like to thank our guest speakers. That is Orlando Soto, Executive Pastry Chef of Le Bernardin, as the alumni speaker, and the esteemed chef, author, and restaurateur Marcus Samuelson as our keynote speaker. So you may be wondering, who are we recognizing and celebrating today? And this is particularly for the parents and guests. Let me give you an overview. Our commencement today is designed for graduates of the last 12 months whose program and diploma from ICE is either in culinary arts, pastry and baking arts, restaurant and culinary management, hotel and hospitality management, or health supportive culinary arts, which we now call plant-based culinary arts. The way we've done our scheduling, everybody here is culinary arts, and the afternoon session are the other 4 programs. But beyond programs, let me paint a picture of our 2023 graduating class. You are diverse, not just culturally, but in age, nationality, gender identity, and your future goals. And just to mention 4 names, if you're here, shout out. There's Susan Froman, who after 21 years of teaching, took our pastry and baking arts program and is now the pastry chef at Mother's Bistro in Portland, Oregon. Now, Susan, if you're here, you're in the wrong session. You should be here in the afternoon. But then there's Burhan Halilov. Are you here? All right. He came to ICE after 15 years as a storage engineer and solutions architect. He was hired as a line cook from his externship at the Modern here in New York. There's John, who came here right out of high school in Queens. His food background wasn't fast food, but his goal now is to climb the ladder and eventually own his own restaurant. And there's Kuran Narayan, a serial entrepreneur and tech consultant who took ICE's Health Supportive Culinary Arts program, did an externship at ABCV, and is planning to develop a food and beverage brand and open a plant-forward restaurant in Bangalore, India. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't give you some perspective and some advice. So here is some perspective. After many years and thousands of graduates, I know that our alumni will define success in many ways. As you know, our school motto is "Find Your Culinary Voice." When that was first presented to us by a marketing agency around 2009, I thought it was sort of corny. But soon after, I realized that it fits so well, and it's what we try so hard to achieve. Here are some examples of the different voices and paths. For Mashama Bailey, who graduated from ICE in 2001, it was to be a chef entrepreneur, and she's doing very well with that. She is the executive chef and partner of The Gray in Savannah, Georgia, and now has a branch in Austin, Texas. Last year, in 2020, she won the James Beard Foundation Award for Outstanding Chef in America. That is the highest singular honor for a chef in America. For Mark Murphy, another ICE graduate, his career has evolved to be a food media personality. Earlier, Mark opened many restaurants on the East Coast. Now he's a regular on the Food Network. By contrast, for ICE alumna Maria Rodriguez, it's keeping her daytime administrative job in a New Jersey medical center, but working on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights as a pastry chef in a suburban New Jersey restaurant. That was her goal, to keep her day job and be a part-time pastry chef. For Andrew Riggi, culinary school at ICE led to civic engagement and what I would call culinary politics. He's the founding director of the New York City Hospitality Alliance, which particularly during the pandemic was the voice of New York City's restaurant community, working with city, state, and national leaders. So, success can be defined in many ways, and one's culinary voice can be defined in many ways. Find yours. And by the way, as your voice and choices develop, let ICE's alumni office know what you are doing, particularly the men. We know from years of experience, men are not good at keeping in touch with alumni offices. Please, break that pattern. Now for my advice. 3 or 4 items. First, make teamwork a goal. When you watch the Emmys or the Grammys or the James Beard Awards or the end of the Super Bowl or the World Series, there is one word you always hear. That is teamwork. The performers, stars, and notables you hear talking about teamwork aren't just being nice, they are being honest. Little gets accomplished without teamwork. So what makes a good team player? It is someone who is always reliable, adapts quickly and easily, displays genuine commitment, does more than is needed, and communicates honestly, clearly, and respectfully. With great teamwork, a workplace, be it a hotel, pastry shop, restaurant, or catering business, is more satisfying, and the results will be better, and new ideas are more apt to develop. Today, one of your jobs is to be a great teammate, but in years to come, we hope and expect that part of your role will be to create and guide a great team. Keep in mind, all the enterprises where you work need not just staff, they need managers and leaders. Whatever culinary or hospitality ladder you are hoping to climb, you can climb that ladder faster today than at any time in recent decades, but you can only climb with teamwork. Advice number 2, be patient. While earlier I was speaking about your diversity, there is one thing I know you all have in common. That is that you are only 1 to 11 months into your careers after culinary schools. In the scheme of things, that's not very long. And most, or perhaps all of you, are in jobs where there are many techniques, skills, and practices to master. So the simple advice is, be patient. Focus on mastering skills so that you can move on to other skills. Focus on mastering skills so that you can teach those skills to others. Here are some quips and quotes, as I'd call them, on that subject from chefs you may or may not have heard of. Alex Atala, who is perhaps the best-known living chef in South America, wrote, quote, "The difference between what is good, very good, and exceptional can be found in repetition. A chef must master the basics before he or she can create something exceptional, and the only way to master something is to repeat the process many times, honing your skills and making slight changes to your methods until you have reached your own version of perfection. Another quote comes from ICE alum Chef Colin Aleveris. Years ago, I heard him address some ICE students. He said, quote, "Repetition is only boring if you don't realize you're learning something." Chef Eva de Gil, a chef in Barcelona, and you may know her from Top Chef Spain, no, I don't think you know her from Top Chef Spain, was quoted as saying, "My advice is to be more patient and take things step by step instead of trying to do everything at once and be overwhelmed. Practice setting a goal, creating an action plan, short-term and long-term." Another quote, a bit more tongue-in-cheek than the others, is from Chef Daniel Boulud, who said, "Remember, it's never the knives' fault." The last part about patience is that it's easier and more effective to be patient when you don't spend too much time comparing yourself to other people. A great bit of guidance for everyone that I heard Chef Jeffrey Zakarian tell our students yesterday. Maybe Marcus, maybe you heard him say this yesterday, I don't know. But Jeffrey said, don't spend time and energy comparing yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. The next bit of advice is, while being patient, do take the time to dream big. It may not be something you do every day, but think about it enough to inspire you. What does that mean? Well, one thing you could do is to take intentional and deliberate actions. Could be with your hands, your heart, or your brain. Develop and plan steps, be they baby steps or big steps, that help you move forward with your plans. Much of that can be on the job, taking the time to learn things that are beyond your current responsibilities that will help prepare you for bigger roles. My own children are the same age as many of you, and in recent years I have been giving them what I call, I hope they agree, good dad adult advice. One idea I came up with has to do with the old adage of having a plan A, B, C, etc. I have said to them, hey, why not have 3 plan A's and then a plan B and a plan C? Plan A is the one you work hardest on and think the most about. If you have multiple plan A's, the odds of one of them coming to fruition are higher, and then you never have to settle for plan B or C. Don't ask me how that's working out for them. It's working out okay. Okay, the last bit of advice. Use your influence. What do I mean by influence? These days, 2023, one thinks of social media influence. Today, you may have 50 or you may have 5,000 followers, and you may or may not ever be considered a social media or social influence. But wait, you went to culinary school. You are graduating from the Institute of Culinary Education. That means when it comes to food, taste, diet, and restaurants, you have more knowledge and influence than most of the people you know, and no doubt that influence will grow. Now, there are many ways to use your influence. These are categories. I'm not exactly sure how you'll do this, but let's talk about America's public health, sustainability, and world peace. Just a few items. Americans don't eat enough fiber. Americans eat too many calories and fat and too much processed food. American children eat too much sugar. Maybe in some small or large way, you can have an influence on that. Sustainability. It's difficult for small farms in America to compete against large industrial farms. You can choose to buy from small farms. You can choose to serve the fish that are plentiful and not the ones that are endangered. And then there's world peace. Think of all the people and groups and neighbors who are fighting each other. You know one thing they have in common? More times than not, they like to eat the same foods. So maybe eating and food can be a basis for peace. Now, I have set some lofty goals for you. I don't know how you're going to do all that, but as a nice graduate, maybe you can. Use your influence. As I end this talk, I want to acknowledge our keynote speaker, Chef Marcus Samuelson. I have known him and considered him a friend for a long time. In fact, our entry into the culinary world in New York City was around the same time. This isn't so much from memory, but Wikipedia. For Marcus, his entry into the New York and American culinary world was 1994, and for me, 1995. Chef Marcus's lists of accomplishments is a long one, but a point that I know that is not in his bio is just how respected and admired he is by chefs, cooks, and his peers around the world. I know that when people ask him for advice, help, or guidance, his first inclination is to say yes. In fact, that is why he is here today. So in closing, I want to congratulate you all for graduating the Institute of Culinary Education. I wish you good fortune, good luck, good health, good cooking, baking, and managing. Enjoy the journey you have begun.
Thank you, Chairman Smilo. Next, I'm pleased to introduce our alumnus speaker, Chef Orlando Soto, Executive Pastry Chef at Le Bernardin, a 3-star Michelin restaurant located in Midtown Manhattan and run by the eminent chef Eric Ripert. After graduating from the University of Puerto Rico with an engineering degree, Chef Soto decided to fully pursue his passion for pastry, moving to New York to enroll in the Institute of Culinary Education. He has since honed his expertise in Michelin-starred restaurants in kitchens such as Daniel, Café Boulud, Per Se, and Gunter Seeger. In the kitchen, he combines his pastry knowledge with his engineering background, respecting classical techniques while employing new methods to create whimsical desserts. Welcome, Chef Soto.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I am honored to speak before you, before the faculty and staff members that make this place run every day, and of course, before your families. We're all here to celebrate you and wish you your continued success as you begin your career beyond these walls. In the last couple of months, you started to learn skills and techniques that turn a few ingredients into delicious and beautiful creations. You worked hard. Some burns, some bruises, cuts, and impending deadlines did not stop you from getting to this day. You're here now, and that means that you have succeeded in the first chapter of a journey that will enrich you as much as it enriches others. I mention others because that is a big part of our line of work: to serve, to bring joy, to harness the real potential of ingredients, or of the ingredients of life, and inspire others to do the same. That is our magic. Today, very much like your first day here, the expectation is that you're moving on to the sweet life in the kitchen. Easy, right? No, we know better. We know that there are days when things can get dark, not because of the work itself, but because that is life. So when that happens, remember today, remember your first day here, remember your dream, and move forward with a sense of purpose. Remember also to have fun while you're doing that. It took time to get here. It takes practice and repetition, like Rick Smilo just mentioned. It will take time to figure out what means the most to you. And just as importantly, it'll take time to identify the things that you don't like. Be patient with yourself. It's a process. Out there, every opportunity is like walking into a new classroom, each with its own set of rules, but all towards the same goal: to serve, to nourish, and to remind others of our singular gift as humans, our ability to connect through food. And that is our power. Tomorrow, as you step into your career, remember that being here, making it this far, means that you survived and thrived and pivoted after a pandemic. You have witnessed and in cases been part of much needed social change that extends beyond the kitchens. You are an agent of change. You are and always have been more than just a cook. Remember that while your recipes and methods anticipate the transformation of ingredients with purpose and specific techniques, at the end, and this is quoting a chef that works at ICE, The end result is usually greater than the sum of its parts, but its purpose is ultimately an expression of love. It's an expression of what we love to do for those we love to do it for. So as you move forward, keep this in mind, especially when it feels like the odds are against you or that things are just falling apart. Keep your head up, remember your power, and turn that feeling into art. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you for that inspiring speech, Chef. And now it's time to introduce our keynote speaker, Chef Marcus Samuelson. Marcus Samuelson is the renowned chef behind many restaurants worldwide, including Red Rooster Harlem and Red Rooster Overton, Miami, Marcus Montreal, Marcus B&P in Newark, New Jersey, Street Bird at Yankee Stadium, Marcus at Baha Mar Fish and Chop House in the Bahamas, Hav and Mar in Chelsea, New York, and the recently opened Marcus Bar and Grill in Atlanta. Chef Samuelson was the youngest person to receive a 3-star review from the New York Times and was the guest chef for the Obama administration's first state dinner. He has won 8 James Beard Foundation Awards as chef, author, and TV personality. Most recently for his work as head judge on Top Chef Family Style and host of On the Rise. Chef Samuelson also hosts and produces The Seat at the Table on Audible and co-hosts This Moment podcast with Swedish rapper Timbuktu on Acast. A committed philanthropist, Chef Samuelson is the co-chair of Careers Through Culinary Arts program, CCAP, which focuses on helping underserved youth. Chef Samuelson also co-produces the annual Harlem Eat Up Festival, which celebrates the food, art, and culture of Harlem. He is the author of several cookbooks, the New York Times best-selling memoir, Yes, Chef, a memoir, and his latest book, The Rise, Black Cooks and the Soul of American Food. Welcome, Chef Samuelson.
Great job getting through all that. That's amazing. First of all, congratulations to all the chefs, all the students, all the different collaborators that make this happen, because the faculties and the structure of the school made it all possible. This is a very, very exciting day for all of us here, but it's also, of course, most exciting for you guys because it really represents your vision of, should I go back to school or should I start school? Should I start culinary school? And today, you completed it. Congratulations. I want to tell you a little bit about my journey. I was born in a hut in Ethiopia that is the size of 2 4-tops in my restaurant. And through many different things that happened, but a lot of them luck, but also the goodness of others, of random people, random acts of wonderful people that I was not related to help me out. And I say that because as you build your culinary journey, you're going to need luck. But you're also going to need customers, friends, or random people to just really believe in you, whether that's a mentor, or whether that's a writer, or whether that's somebody you meet on the street that can actually completely transform your life. The worst thing that happened to me as a young child was that me and my sister and my mom, we had tuberculosis. My mother walked us into a hospital and she passed away, but me and my sister survived. The nurse at the hospital, she took us in. She actually broke the law. She took 2 kids from the hospital, and we stayed with her until she set us up for adoption. So that meant many things. I went from the warmest country in the world to the coldest country in the world. I went also from being Kasahunsi guy to Marcus Samuelsson. But more than anything, I went to a family that truly supported and loved me on so many different levels. I also met my grandmother, Helga. And Helga was the one that really taught me and engaged me and fully supported my journey as a chef. I didn't even know that I was a chef, being 6, 7, or 8, working with my grandmother, and everyone here has a grandfather or grandmother that they've done something with in food, because that's something most of us share, whether that was, in my case, pickling herring, or picking blueberries, or preserving something. There was always something to do at Helga's house. But I knew the reward. The reward was not good food. It was great. It was fantastic. And nothing felt better than beating my sisters in rolling meatballs a little bit faster than them, and then the big surprise and the big reward, eating 10, 12, 14 meatballs. That was the big reward, especially when you made them yourself. So these small moments of joy, I didn't know at the time, was really the change for me to go into the industry. I didn't know it, but as I became a teenager and had weekend jobs, they were all in cooking. They were all in food. I found a mentor, and a couple of advice I can give you guys is find a mentor. No matter where you are in career, you're gonna need a mentor. Me being in my mid-career, now I look for young mentors. The mentors are really game-changing in the industry because it's something that we as chefs still have. And we still, as chefs, we love having a mentee, and as a mentee, you can learn so much from your mentor. And in my case, there was a chef that said to me, in a year after we're starting here, you're gonna leave. And I thought I would get fired, but he set me up to go abroad. I got a chance to travel to Japan, live with the family, and work, and finally understand what umami was. Trust me, from working class Gothenburg, no one talked about umami. But for me, it was a game-changing moment. After that, I had an opportunity to go to Switzerland, where most of the team spoke German, but during service, you had to speak French. Highly confusing. But it set me up for my next job to work in a 3-star Michelin restaurant, just like Chef Soto, outside Lyon, a small place called Georges Blanc, and a small village called Vonas. And I saw for the first time that a chef could have more impact than just that restaurant. When you come to Vonas, it's clear that the Blanc family truly operate on a higher level. They have a winery down the street, they have a hotel, they have a small bar, a boulangerie, and of course, a 3-star Michelin restaurant. It was game-changing to watch how the Blanc family really operated. And I knew for the first time there's something more and something different. So I gathered myself to go to, when the year was done, and I worked for a year for free, I went to Chef, and Chef said, hey, come back in a month, and we have a job for you. And I said, Chef, I can't. And he said, what do you mean? Today, I have to leave because I want to start the journey of starting my own restaurant. And here's the game-changing moment in my life. And your game-changing moment, you don't know when they're going to happen. They might hurt. But if you work through it and you talk to your family and you talk to your mentor, or even speak to somebody at your former school, you can work through them because this obstacle moment will happen. When I look at this room and I see the diversity and I see the joy in everyone's eyes and the excitement, I knew I made the right choice 25 years ago. Chef said to me, very simple at that point, what's your goal? I said, my goal is to open my own restaurant. He made it very clear, it's not possible. I said, what do you mean? I've worked here, I've worked in many places. He said, it's not possible. He said, as a black person, you cannot own your own restaurant. You may work in a restaurant, but you can never own it. And that's the moment when I knew I had to leave. And he made it very clear to me, do you know any black person in France that owns a restaurant? I said, I don't know a lot of people in France. Do you know anyone in Europe that looks like you that own your own restaurant? That own their own restaurant? I said, again, I don't know that many people, but that was his point to make sure that I had to change my dream and lower my goal. Now think about that for each one of you here. How would that work if you had to change your dream and lower your goal? Not well. Actually, I thank Chef because he inspired me, truly. Because when somebody, as we are as human, we're stubborn, that's what you are, otherwise you would not have gone through the school. You have enormous work ethic. You also have belief in yourself, right? That's why you're here. And if somebody tells you you can't do something, guess what? You're going to do it better than ever. I took the challenge. I went back to Sweden, talked to my family, and I took my savings. After 7 years of working for free, it was $300, and I moved to the United States. And it was a risk, but I knew I could add value. And this idea that you can add value, no matter what you have in your pocket, hold on to that, because each one of you can add value in a kitchen, in a restaurant setting. Whether you take that and collaborate, front of the house, back of the house, administratively, doesn't really matter. That's up to you to figure out which best are the best for you. But as long as you put in the work with a mentor, and collaborate. Because I think this idea of that somebody's self-made, it doesn't exist. It's also boring and lonely. Collaborations and teams are one of the most important things in kitchen. As you guys know now, because you worked in many teams before, but also during this education. I couldn't do anything without the combination of great mentors and collaborators. Three people in my career really stuck out that really helped me. One was Miss Leah Chase. Miss Leah Chase just passed away 3 years ago, 95 years old. She opened the first integrated restaurant in America. She actually broke the law by serving a room that looks like this. And she always told me, aim high. Don't let anyone set and decide your goals for you. And Miss Leah is, for me, still a person that I look for spiritual advice, really. I think about her and think about what she had to work through to be in her position. The other one is late Chef Charlie Trotter, that truly transformed American cooking. Not from New York, not from Los Angeles, but from Chicago. And one of the reasons why you have so many incredible chefs throughout the Midwest, most of them, a lot of them, started with Chef Trotter. And then the mentor that I speak to most of today would be Chef Daniel Boulou, that I know that I can call up on anytime and I can get a piece of advice. I don't know who that mentor's going to be for you, but find her, him, speak to them regularly, check in, and really share your vision. And promise me one thing. Your dream and your goals can go sideways and they can change a little bit, but you should always, always shoot for the stars and always push yourself in a way that you know you can really be an agent of change. Because the one thing our industry still needs is to transform. And transformation is happening whether we like it or not. During COVID, all of us had to change and transform. And it was very, very difficult for the hospitality industry. But for all of you guys coming, lived through that experience, and now hospitality is thriving again. I was talking to Chef Soto, and the restaurant is busier than ever. We're very fortunate at the Marcus Samuelsson Group, and we opened 3 new restaurants. So you are going into an industry where every single one of you here has a job tomorrow, which is amazing, right? You truly have. It's a matter of which job would you like to take. Well, that's a privilege right there. And it's really important, not so much about the paycheck, but where do you spend your time, your hard-earned time? Because that time is actually your value proposition at this time, right? How you build your career, whether it's to build the next vegan food platform, or whether it's to build the next Japanese, Nigerian wonderful restaurant, or whether it's, the next Ethiopian restaurant. I can't advise on that. But whatever it is your dream, is your time. Go into it passionately, not naive. Work really, really hard, and dream high. Because it's the dreams at those tough days when you might even have to work 2 jobs to pay some bills. And that's the one thing you want to hold on to, your dream, your vision, and create a purpose. The purpose for yourself might be just this day, you're going to get through it, but eventually, as you get out of that, you want to have a purpose. For me, the purpose of opening Red Rooster was to create leadership position for people of color in our restaurant. That's why we have open kitchen. So the staff does not have to be anonymous, and the customers see who's cooking. When we open Hav Mar, we focus on leadership for women of color. Same thing there, open kitchen. It's very close between the dining room and the kitchen, so everyone sees who's in charge. Those are our purposes. Dig deep, dive in. Think about each one of your purpose as you join the team, and as you evolve, and as you eventually start whatever your own thing is. I have all the faith in the world that you guys can make it happen because you worked through this, and I can't wait to go on the next social media platform and figure out what each one of you guys are doing, and I know it will be delicious and fantastic if you dream high, you collaborate, you find a mentor, because I know one thing, I know already you will work hard because you're already proven to yourself. That's why you're here today. Congratulations, have fun, and make your life as delicious as possible. Thank you. Now, can I take a selfie with you guys? That's really what I came here for. I need to be a bit. Come on. Are we doing this? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chef Samuelsson. That was great. Now it's time to recognize our students and present their diplomas. I'd ask that you all clap now, because the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is to not clap until the end. So if you need to get it out of your system, there we go. I'm ready. Nicholas Vera Amezcua. Amy Sato. Sao Yu Chu. Alex Galindo Perez. William Wen. Christopher C. Smith. Jerry Kai. Just hold on for a minute. I just want to let it clear a little. Joel J. Castillo. Sarah Ibrahim. Kyle D. Schaefer. Bianca Cruz. Kiara White. Larissa Cassius. Diane De Oliveira. Amanda Rivera. Aaron D. Eager. Mia I. Rincon. Trinity Perez. Lauren Wrench. Carolina Segovia Perdiguero. Elizabeth Toro. Fanchi Koa. Randy Colombo. Omar A. Kurishi. Michael Rosenberg. Tomas Rodriguez. D'Angelo Whitlow. Victor Vataman, graduate of Culinary Arts and Culinary Arts and Management. Elizabeth Pence. Caleb Swindell. Jada Colon. Kayla E. Galega. Paula Camila Caceres. Lia Rosales. Nikwan Williams. Roger L. Scarlett. Sage Ramos. Hannah R. Mosquera. Cole Robinson. Aziad Harari. Yomaira B. Soto. Maria P. Espinoza Cherez. Eric Cho, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Arts Management. Daniela Rico Rodriguez. Tiffany Chen, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Andre Hooper. Kevin M. Lauren T. Thornton. Avery Vichinsky. Jame Manuel. Elizabeth F. Wu. Laura Luciano. Alessandra M. Chufo. Griffin Fiorentino. Riley J. Mikulski. Mary C. Lusardo. Fernando Ledo Talmanalco. Edwin A. Paz Valencia. Jacob Matozzi, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Austin L. Buck. Asher Grossman. Harrison J. Miles. Michael D. Jones. Adam D'Souza. Isabella Martignon. Mercy A. Sena Mendez. Rachel C. Nielsen. Ray Stanislaus. Demetrius Smoovey E. Lawrence. Rosa Tawala. Ambika Prasad. Emma Guagliardo. Adriana Trejo graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Okay. Amy Kitarara Ticorn. That was a tough one. Louisa. Karine Louisa. Adrielle Rodway. Basaru. Basaru Bokum. Asher Edwards. Michael J. Mitchell. Allison Mendez. Jacqueline M. Ruta. Freddie Obando. Jeremy Salto. Danny Mascari. Yudin Levy. Arismendi Jerez. Elmitha Volsi. Nicole Hutchinson. Cynthia L. Sabalos. Brandon Santiago. Eric Perry. Freddie F. Loiza. Timur Abashev. Christian A. Perla. Brandon Santiago. Wasana Lopressart. Wasana Lopressart. Oops. Michelle Gambaro. Burhan Halilov. J. Dion E. McNeil. Damien Estime. Madeline DeVita. Savannah Mollahan. Elizabeth G. Murray. Haley Wexler. Allison Iaboni. And our youngest graduate. Cheryl Gaines. Bryant Posada. James A. Onashuk. Congratulations. Marcus Sancho. Randall Cook. Joseph Marin. Zoya Ahmed. Lenice Gonzalez. Zuri Hines. Stephen Rada. Amaya Pensay. Sonali S. Pensay. Max Chang. Christiana Jacqueline Fiorello. Powell F. Levin. Whitney J. Johnson Verrett. Alexandra Bautista. Jade Almodovar. Cameron J. Presley. Ralph Oni T. Della Pena. Carlos Escamilla. Caleb Bishop. Juan Rodriguez Penagos. Bradford D. Knight. Adrian Segarra. Rhea Moore. Michaela Kramer. Harvey N. Gonzalez. Thank you. LaShawn H. Hamilton. Svetlana Mazer. James Hasselton. Corey J. Pride. Kenneth Dericio. Dasan Hunt Webb. Bruce J. Mosca. Judah R. Taylor. Nasir Berjawi. Joe Astacio. Emma Linville. Eleftherios Vouvoudakis. Christopher Lilly. Tammy L. Acevedo. Carrie R. Peterson. Ana K. Aguiar. Albert Hohenstein. Robert Ramirez Victoriano. Elizabeth O. Niagua. Victoria Keefe. Kevin J. Fonasher. Frederick R. King. Omar Reyes. Asia Alicia Camille Pasquale, dual graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Ho Sum Ma, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Amaya N. Dugal, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Nathan Diamond. Diego Martinez. Rebecca Kong. Brian Schneider, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management, and friend. Justin T. Downs. Holly E. Ardern. Ann Ardern. Andrew Tucker. Isabella M. Todd. Mike's. Bhumi Chandak, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Rain L. Tripp. Adam Chung. Amira Isak. Feliz Itak. Suryapa P. Meisinger. Nasia Goodman. Onika Welsh. Ariel Laurie. James Capistrano. Tara Chambers. Jake D. Goldstein. Nicholas C. Drescher. Fidelio Rita. Max H. Tureen. Ann G. Tinkin. Maria del Pilar Curi. Katerina Campion. Robert L. Innes. Sarah A. Stewart. Alicia Grigo. Aliza Phillip. Noah R. Miloslavsky. Hello. Raymond Bernardo. Evan Fedora. Javier Vargas Aricia. Justin A. LaBoy. Elisa C. Polanco. Jadea C. Cook. Anaya Jobity. Sierra C. Gordon, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Corey Wilson, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Sing Wa Jesse Yao. John E. Dignam, graduate of Culinary Arts and Restaurant and Culinary Management. Brandon Matson. Frank Bosco. Amanda Manley. Ryan D. Reynolds. And let's have a round of applause, finally, for all our graduates. Okay. While we're not quite done, if you'd resume your seats, please. To our graduates, while this ceremony marks the end of your time as students, it is not the end of the relationship. We hope to be a part of your future, helping with employment and delighting in your successes. We can't wait to feature you in our newsletter and boast about you on social media, and perhaps, one day, welcome you to the faculty. May each day bring you that special joy that comes from making your passion your vocation. This is normally where we ask you to toss your toques. So don't do it again, because we try to get a picture of this. They got it? Wait, don't throw till. Will the graduates please stay standing, and we will process out. We ask our guests to please wait until the graduates have processed out before leaving. Once again, to our graduates, congratulations. It's been a privilege.